So where we left off, Cap and Hugo were about one day into their flight to Arabiolas. Let's see, Cap and Hugo. Got one dude. Colleen is unconscious.
Yeah.
And in prison.
Yeah, but she doesn't know that yet. And Nemo and Dude had gone to the finer of the criminal housing institutions or incarceration facilities to see if she's there as Audrey Mercure and break her out by posing as Mercure Corps legal attaché, with Dude kind of manning a phone from a getaway car, and Nemo doing the face work. They were Nemo was just talking to a desk sergeant who initially was saying that there has been no Audrey Mercure booked, and as he was about to call someone whose voice he heard on Nemo's recording,
Nemo's pretend recording,
right, his imitation,
yes,
he received a call from that same person. Nemo intercepted, keep them there, I'll come get them, or someone will get them, or keep him there, someone will get him, and that's where we left the session. It's about a little bit after 2 a.m. Cap and Hugo still have about 4 hours left before it's a full day of travel out of their 2. Colleen has been unconscious for just about 6-7 hours at this point. Excuse me. And Nemo is waiting patiently. It doesn't have to wait long. Someone drives up fairly quickly. Matt, Dude sees after say about 5, almost 10 minutes, an unmarked vehicle. Nice vehicle, but not too nice. It's kind of how Matt selected his rental car. Or Dude selected his rental car, sorry.
Yes, professional looking, but not expensive looking.
A man in a suit gets out and walks into the station.
Nothing unusual looking about him other than man in a suit.
No, not particularly.
What?
He probably looks well, the first thing that comes to mind is equilibrium. His hair is tightly controlled, slicked back, but not greasy type slicked back.
Wait, as a man in equilibrium with himself, or as the bad movie?
As the bad movie.
Okay.
Yes, as the bad movie. And I'm so happy to finally hear someone else refer to it as the bad movie. Thank you, Mel. It's crazy that we agree on that, but thank you anyways.
I was about to say, wait, did we just agree on a movie?
I can't stand the concept of mathematically predicting the erratic mind of human and its movements.
Yes.
Up until that point, I liked the movie. Remove that silly explanation, and the movie all comes together for me.
Yes.
But that ruined it for me. Just let it be skill, man.
Nope. Superman, then you can, and you become the ultimate gunfighter for reasons.
Because people always are in the exact same position. I mean, they did go into saying it's probability.
Yes,
But it was
if
perfect
that was the case,
probability.
then someone would get hit some of the time.
Yes, and by standing in that exact same position, you're at more risk. Anyways,
But he's bobbing and weaving and shit.
Mhm.
Because you can dodge bullets with math. Yeah.
Yeah, no, just a white male with slicked black hair in a nice suit. Anything more than that, and you would need to make a notice check.
This is the only vehicle I've seen pull up the whole time that we've been there, though, right?
Yep.
I mean, he would at least be attempting to make a notice check with his not great scores on it, just because this is the only person that's come up. It's the only semi interesting thing to happen while he's been waiting for something else to happen. So,
Okay.
yeah, it's almost a little like reading the terrible 2 magazines at the doctor's office, because it's literally the only thing there.
Yes, it's the only thing there, and it'll make time go slightly faster.
Then you start reading the labels on shit.
Yep. Go ahead and roll it.
2 4s.
Well, dude notices that the car is still idling, despite whatever energy source used, not requiring the engine to literally idle. You right there, Matt?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll say that the dude also notices that the man is packing, but that's not so much that shouldn't be so much of a surprise.
He's wearing very tight pants.
No, he actually isn't, because very tight pants aren't business classy.
Depends on who you ask.
Anyone in the world except for the person that says no.
Mm-hmm.
What scene do I have you on? Let's move you over to March. There isn't really much else to notice. Or much else that dude does notice, I should say.
It makes sense.
Nemo. You see the same man come into the station.
Mm-hmm.
And he looks over at Nemo. Looks over at the desk sergeant.
Turn to look.
Yeah. The two of them basically exchange nonverbal information before the desk sergeant flat out says here's the man from Mercury Corps. And the man in the suit with the slick back hair extends his hand to shake. Well, walks up to Nemo and extends his hand for a handshake.
Yes. Matt, where did you put the name?
It's also in the recap, but it's Kurt de Blasio. And the desk sergeant did say, "Here's the android from Mercury Corps, not the man."
Jackass. Well, that ruins that back up. Okay, well, in that case, Nemo will return his handshake and Cut de Blasio, representing Mercure Corp. I understand you'll take me to Walter Mercure.
Please come with me. He starts walking
We'll
back
follow.
out of the station.
Okay.
Is Nemo following him?
Yes, he does. He'll also sub-vocalize to Dude, and leaving the premises now. Try to follow if you're able.
Alright. Matt? Dude actually can respond securely since Nemo has very specifically given him a comm code that is on his encrypted server, or comm server. So,
Right,
for
so
the
it won't-
first
it won't
time
be-
in 41 sessions, you guys have a secure and secret and private way of communicating with each other, aside from just whispering.
in a two-way communication, an actual two-way communication.
Yes.
Mother of God.
This is what Nemo's gift was designed for. The rest is just plot, basically plot assistance for the GM. I need to feed them information somehow. Let's give one of the players, a way to intercept communications.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he'd probably like to do something with that. I'll throw a comm server on there.
Uh-huh. Hmm. And now, after saying all that, I've completely forgotten exactly what Nemo said.
Exiting the premises now. Try to follow if able.
Right.
There seems to Nemo will address the man there seems to be some confusion as to whether or not Walter Mercure is in your custody.
Yes, I will explain that.
Very good.
Nemo receives a little typed message back that just says, "Gotcha. I will keep my eyes open."
Dude was not parked too closely to the station, too conspicuously close to it.
That was the plan.
Mm-hmm. The dude moves to the back of the vehicle, opens a door for Nemo, and Nemo can clearly see that inside this is a secured vehicle. There won't be or shouldn't be any physical interaction between the back seat and the front seats.
Is anyone else sitting in the front seat?
There is a driver there.
Right. So there's a driver and the person I'm walking with, so they would logically take up the two front seats.
Correct.
Okay. In that case, Nemo will sit in the back.
Okay. He closes the door for Nemo and then gets into the front seat himself. The divider between them, the tint fades so you can see clearly instead of through a smoky haze, and the tint on the external windows unfades or tints.
Right.
Oh, excuse me, sitting down. The man that is not driving, thankfully, turns to face Nemo after putting his seatbelt on or whatever safety harness is in these vehicles.
Yes.
And looks through the glass. Says, thank you for coming so quickly.
Of course, and on behalf of Mercure Corps, I apologize for the initial confusion regarding our disposition towards Miss Mercure's apprehension. There was a bureaucratic snag that has been addressed.
I understand those very well. I'm sure you understand that the absence of Audrey Mercure in any booking database was similar.
Of course, and we appreciate, and of course, at Mercure Corp, we appreciate the efforts you're taking to contact us directly and minimize any involvement of outside interference. If you'll take to my client directly, then I'm sure we can straighten this out as soon as possible.
We will. She is currently asleep. And seems to have had a night. I would advise that you allow a medical professional to examine her before attempting to wake her up and make off with her.
Of course. Did Miss McCure incur any physical injury or discomfort during the arrest?
None that couldn't be avoided. None that could be avoided.
I was going to say.
Well, we didn't have to shoot her, but we
did. Yay, double negatives. We don't need no education.
You know, Tony was just a little trigger happy, and he's been getting really bored lately, so we kind of let him have it.
Yeah.
It's like a dog. You got to let him run every now and then.
Yeah, but we just got these new non-lethal stun rounds, and we were all a little curious as to how they actually worked.
She just happened to be the first person we went to arrest when we had them in our hands, and it was like, well, man, I got to see how this works.
Just go with the Darkstar episode in prison. There's no need to taste me. Are you kidding me? It's the highlight of my day.
Yeah, she
Don't
says...
Don't taste me, bro!
None that could be avoided. We're uncertain why she suddenly passed out when she was confronted.
I assume surveillance. I assume surveillance video is available of the arrest.
Of course.
I would like to have that made available.
You'll be given access to view it once we reach the estate.
Excellent. And Nemo will sub-vocalize to Dude. Are you able to follow?
Let's go to Dude real quick.
I was gonna say, I'm assuming the car began moving as soon as I got in, right?
Yes, the car begins moving shortly after they get in.
Mm-hmm.
The Dude sees the windows tint up and can no longer see anyone inside. And the vehicle begins driving.
So Ben is here now.
Oh, hey there, Ben.
Dude will try to follow inconspicuously.
That part is made more difficult by the time you chose to perform this little mission.
Right,
well, yes.
There's not that much traffic.
There is not much. There is some, as stated. It's light. It is a city that doesn't sleep because the lights don't dim that much. Well, the lights don't go out; they just dim. And that is the same can be said for all traffic and business. It doesn't go out; it just dims.
Yeah. Well, his intent with inconspicuous is going to be he's going to try to play with the edge of letting the vehicle get far enough away that him being behind it is would be difficult to notice in a rear camera assembly or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Nemo will certainly assist with that, but just by constantly feeding him updates on their movements whenever they make a turn, etc.
Okay.
Minimize the risk of.
Yeah.
Well,
They both have a tracking app running.
Did you give us the ability to track each other?
Yeah, because otherwise how would you track Colleen?
Yeah, that actually was part of
we
the
tried,
initial point of the tracking app. Was so that you could
then
all
he
track
lets
each other.
it get. He lets the vehicle get to the edge of visibility.
Okay.
And is counting on the tracking app to let him know when, and Nemo to let him know when turns happen, so that he can simply follow with the turn, and maintain. He's okay with flirting with the very edge of losing the vehicle, to maintain his. I'm totally. This has nothing to do with you. I'm just another car.
Okay. So Nemo, I would allow for, an int. Let me look at this character sheet real quick.
Doesn't he just have an internal gyroscope and knows when he's turning left and right?
That's not what I'm going for. And also, he doesn't.
Man, what kind of crap android are you?
One that falls over a lot.
Well, okay, he has enough of that.
He's a Battlestar Galactica Cylon. The original series.
It's the toasters.
Yes. Also, this is a city that never sleeps, but it does occasionally take little naps on the couch.
Okay. I think, and I'm not gonna make any hard rules on this because it's kind of a one-time or a special scenario that only an android with your specific gift would even need to deal with. Trying to maintain your undistracted conversational semblance while also relaying clear, concise, and timely information is either going to be an int chameleon roll, or you can just spend a processing to kind of handle it for you.
Let's do the int chameleon roll.
Okay. Okay. Matt, you get a +1 from Nemo, and you get a +2 from the tracking app, so a total of +3 to your int stealth roll.
Wait, stealth?
Is it called something else here?
Yeah.
Sneak?
Sneak.
Sneak. Yeah.
Int sneak.
Thank God, because I got a -1 to that. Int sneak.
Yes, sir.
Oh wait, I didn't put in the modifiers. What was it? Total of +2, right?
+3.
Ah. I hate that it doesn't click into that automatically. It highlights the 0 in the modifier.
Yeah.
But you still have to actually click in. Are you sure you have a modifier? Jesus.
You don't.
Wait, that was stab. Why did I?
You don't have
You
to.
put a
You don't.
plus.
Yeah, you don't have to put the plus in.
You did the mistake I kept making.
For the love of Christ, right?
You don't have to include the mathematical operation. You do have to include a designator if it is a negative.
Yes.
Right.
Alright.
It's positive, you just add the number.
So yeah, 5 plus 3, so 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
Man,
it is good that you had so many modifiers on that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I rolled a 1. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't you have a -1 in there?
Yeah,
I have a -1 to sneak.
He included that.
Yeah, but a +1 from int and a +3 from assistance and from assistance.
Okay.
It's a total of +3.
Ah.
And so, I mean, could be worse. I mean, back in D&D 3.0, the first D&D 3.0, you actually needed 4 different skills in order to use stealth effectively.
Yeah, until 3.5, where I think they combined that and the
Yep.
spot listen.
They did, but hide is one skill, move silently is another skill, listen is a third skill, and spot is a fourth skill.
I still remember being extremely confused when we started playing, and the spot listen thing. I was like, wait, that's two things?
Yes.
Alright. Dude is able to keep up with the positional changes, directions, and the tracking app, which I didn't think that it was real time, like up to the minute or up to the second precise. I kind of was imagining it as over the course of minutes, as opposed to updating that frequently. But I mean, for the job that it was needed to do, basically, it didn't need to be every second update.
Right.
It's not actually GPS. It's just trying to tell you where someone is, if they're in trouble.
Right.
Um, either way, dude is able to follow the vehicle with a couple bumps. Um, you guys can have a little bit of a conversation if you want. I believe Nemo had just said something to dude when I switched the scene.
Well, that we I think that was the
Yeah.
picking me up, right?
Nah.
According to the authorities, Colleen is currently unconscious. Apparently, she passed out. According to them, she passed out during the arrest from no visible causes.
I hope she's all right.
I've consented to have medical personnel examine her before I talk to her.
Seem like this guy's buying the story.
Actually, I should probably roll for that.
What? You don't need to roll for that.
That feels like something I should probably be checking.
Go ahead.
Glad I asked.
Yes. One moment. Please stand by. Please stand by. Processing.
I didn't get a response of, oh.
Wisdom notice?
For this, definitely yes.
I'll activate hybrid acuity then.
Okay.
No ones there, so that just becomes an 8.
His word choices are very controlled and professionally constrained. I would also say that he's fairly natural with his language. He's not sitting there pausing and picking for words.
Right, and the constraint would most likely be or at least could very well be explained by him being careful in the presence of someone he believes to be a legally trained professional.
Mm-hmm.
I currently have no reason to suspect that they're suspecting anything.
Good to know.
Dude can see that according to the GPS overlay on a map, you guys are actually approaching the center of the city, where the actual house that is at the center of the city called House LaRue is located. They continue on. Does Nemo communicate or talk with the man anymore?
No, I believe since he believes him to be to be an android, then Nemo will be suitably android-like and not engage in further communication.
Okay. He after a suitable pause to allow for more conversation if there was any coming, he turns and faces forward.
We'll keep up the non-social android facade and be and be robot-like.
Okay. Due to the tinting, the slight tinting through the separating window, and the slight tinting on the forward window, and of course the full tinting on the side windows, it is difficult for Nemo to see where this vehicle is going. Well, it would be difficult for a human to see where this vehicle is going. Not quite as difficult for Nemo, but still difficult. However, at a point about 10 minutes after about 10 minutes of driving, Nemo sees the car pull to a stop at a very sturdy-looking gate. A nicely designed gate, but sturdy. Authorization and identity is checked at the driver's side. And then the gate is opened, car proceeds through, and as a very fleeting sound as it fades away, the gate closes. Dude follows directions and ends up getting to or passing by a road that would lead right up to basically the capital of the city, the House LaRue. All right.
Well, I mean, he would stop as far as possible away from the gate, while still being able to keep it at least in a little bit of view.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any buildings around that it could seem reasonable that somebody had parked a vehicle in front of?
No. The actual mansion estate, the capital here, it is surrounded by basically park-like greenery, parks. There are obviously roads going up to and around it, but dude sees no cars parked anywhere along those roads.
Gotcha. So it's the it's the French royalty. Here's our castle. Here's the 5 acres of park around it that nobody but us can use. Back off.
It is probably just like that.
Then dude would not have stopped. He would have continued driving past until he gets to a point where there is normal habitation again.
Mm-hmm.
And stops and parks in front of the first building that he can get to.
Okay.
As long as that is, I mean, whichever is closer, either a building before he started passing by the giant walls of this place, or after. Unless the entrance gate is literally in the middle of the whole thing, and it doesn't matter either way.
It's close enough to the middle that it doesn't matter either way.
Okay. So he
Um,
just drives past and finds the first place that he could reasonably park and not look like he's just stopped in front of the Capitol.
Now, the streets that are going through this park are not straight. So, well, except for the one going right up to the gate. Actually, no, that's not even straight. Sorry. Um, so, one side may be better if he's trying to speed across than the other, because one side is, unless they're symmetrical, which they're not, invariably more straight. But we'll just let Dude have picked the side that's easier to make a fast and straight run.
Mm-hmm.
Not even gonna take a roll for that. You can see a map. And we'll leave him parked there. Nemo, the car, after another couple of minutes of traveling, comes to a stop. Slower traveling. It's not like they were zooming through the estate grounds at 60 miles an hour for 2 whole minutes.
Right.
Comes to a stop, and the man who's been speaking gets out.
We'll wait patiently for someone to open the door for him.
Okay, which he also does. And as Nemo steps out, he says, "Please excuse my lack of formality. I am Agent Dolan."
A pleasure to meet you, Agent.
Yes.
Would it be possible to for me to for me to review the video footage of my client's arrest now while we await medical attention for her?
Yes, I assume that you have been fully charged for coming here and will not need any accommodations.
I have.
Very good. Come with me.
And Nemo will follow.
Okay. As they walk away, the car drives off. You're looking at a extravagant by Victorian mansion standards, extravagant by current standards.
Right.
Hey, good music. This is an estate and mansion in all senses of both words, with parks and grounds inside the walls. Nemo can see quite an extensive, basically running grounds for presumably 4 horses. It's opulent.
Yep. And it certainly does not look like a a prison or holding facility of any kind, does it?
It does not look like a prison or holding facility. Nemo could have assumed, if you want, that they actually are at the mansion of LaRue.
Mhm.
Because I realized that there were no signposts that said now
Yeah.
entering. He has walked up to the front door, where the door is opened by a servant. And he is escorted down hallways of, once again, extravagant riches. There's no reason for anyone to have this much money, or priceless paintings or artifacts or whatever they have here, but they have them.
May I ask specifically why Miss McCure has been detained here?
We didn't want to risk that she is actually related to the Mercure family
Very
and
good.
set her in a common prison or a common holding cell.
Very good. Thank you. Your Your tact and delicacy in handling this matter will be communicated to my superiors.
It is Mr. LaRue himself who you have to thank for that. Please be sure that is communicated.
I will make sure to do so.
He leads Nemo to a less visitorly extravagant wing, more work-like, and to a room with several monitors. Monitors are all off. And it's not like the movies where there's a security guard in a room with a bunch of TVs. These are all panels on the wall. And he says that the all footage pertaining to activities with Miss Mercure, as well as a live feed into her room, except for areas of expected privacy, are at this station.
Excellent. Thank you. May I assume that the files detailing the reasons for her arrest is also available?
You will need to speak with Mr. LaRue for that.
Very well. That can wait until I've met with the client.
If there's anything else you need, an officer is posted outside your room. Simply let him know and he will contact me.
Thank you. I will.
And he turns and leaves.
Nemo will communicate his position and the current situation to Dude. Currently surveying the data made available to me, and I will hopefully be granted an opportunity to speak to Colleen as soon as she recovers. I'll try to figure out exactly what the cause of her unconsciousness it might be. Are you... where are you?
I was gonna say, dude responds that I had to find a place to. Hang on. I had to find a place to park that was not obviously parking in front of this giant building. They got most of the land all around it cordoned off with their parks and whatnot. So I'm out of sight of the gate, but what do you think, Mike? I mean, is it even a minute or two to drive if I needed to haul back to the main gate?
Let's say that you had to go about a kilometer away. So
Okay.
no, if you hold it and ignored the grass, potentially got yourself in trouble for making a mess. You could get to the gate in less than a minute. If you take the streetways as safely as you can without tearing up the grass, it would probably take you about 3 minutes. If that.
Right. If I needed to try and get to the gate for a quick getaway, I'm only about a minute away. If we're trying to be staying conspicuous, I'm a couple of minutes away.
But if things work out well here, I might be able to convince them that you're and I'm allowed to remove Colleen from the premises. I might be able to get them to let you in to drive us out.
All right, man.
And then he'll study the footage.
Okay. Well, you were present for the scene as it happened, and the footage that he has available to him is that drone. He can rewind to the point where the drone is deployed, and it begins recording its flight after it has passed from the Capitol grounds. Flies over the city and just sits over the house. Nemo can correlate that arrival with approximately when he recalls receiving or intercepting that communication that the house is under surveillance.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's got a firm timestamp of when the operation began. He can see as he fast forwards close to when Colleen is picked up, he can see the cars just look like normal cars, and drive up and park over the course of about 30 minutes to an hour. They're pretty much all caught on the drone's feed. And somebody gets out of the cars and moves off to do their business. So it was clearly a coordinated and planned operation, with even with decoy persons in the vehicles that were getting out of the vehicles that drove up, just so that it wasn't, hey, there's a car that drove up and nobody's gotten out.
Right.
And then the drone as a secondary camera, it still keeps the main camera on the overall area, but a secondary camera zooms in on the actual action, and there's also an audio feed that comes with this one, so he can hear the conversation between Colleen and the one that confronts her, and can see that the point where she faints.
Right. And there does not appear to be any any external stimuli causing that to happen.
You could certainly roll notice if you want.
Sure. Int notice.
This would be int notice, correct?
Oh.
This is unfortunately,
I assume hyperactivity wouldn't help here.
for the int notice check, no. If you were trying to focus more on her and basically what happened
on her
with
stage.
her.
Yes.
Yeah. I would allow you a separate whiz notice roll for that.
Yeah, sure. I might try that. See if she appears to be, panicking or.
There's no obvious
fainting.
physical interaction between her and anything else, and he doesn't see any signs of tampering with the video.
Right. Let's make that an 8 then. Actually, I can reroll that. That would make it. No need to reroll that one.
Well, if you rolled a 6, that would get you an 8 without the hyperacuity, wouldn't it?
Yes.
I can't remember. Do you have to spend another processing to do hyperacuity to make it an 8?
Actually, you have to spend it to. I already said I spend it, and I have to do it. I don't have to spend another, and I already spent one, so I might as well. So there's no reason.
Okay.
To reroll,
and this is the same scene.
Oh, so same scene, right? That's right. So in that case, I don't have to spend any.
Okay.
So make it an 8.
Hang on. Last time you spent was while talking to the desk sergeant, right?
No, that was while sitting in the car trying to
Okay.
read the agent.
Yes, it is the same scene as that then.
Okay. Yep.
Okay. And he doesn't notice anything that her body involuntarily reacts to. Aside from just kind of going unconscious. Whatever occurred to her was entirely mental, or a connection between the mental and the body.
Right. Well, let me switch and watch the surveillance of her room then, just make sure that
Okay.
she appears to be okay.
Okay. Nemo can actually do both if you wants to have one screen smaller than the other.
Sure.
But since he's seen all the footage already, there's not a real reason to. And cameras into her room just show her sleeping on a rather comfy looking bed.
Okay. I'll open up, communicate to do it again. She appears to be sleeping, and from what I could discern from the surveillance photos, there was in fact no direct stimuli, no direct outside stimuli causing her to faint. Not sure what she appeared to be. She didn't appear to be stressed or panicked either, so I'm not sure what might have caused it. But presumably, the medical personnel that they're calling in to check on her will find that. Find out. I believe I'll be granted an opportunity to speak with her as soon as she has been checked by doctors and has regained consciousness. And then Nemo will wait.
Okay.
Dude doesn't. No response to that, really.
Okay. All right, let's Cap and Hugo are flying, so there's not much happening out there, unless Cap or Hugo have anything that they're going to talk about.
I think I actually lost Emma a bit ago.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, Cat shut off her computer now. The
Doop.
wireless adapter is not happy.
Oh. That's unfortunate. Ben, what did you say?
Yeah, there's nothing Hugo in particular wants to discuss.
Okay. Colleen wakes up, or starts to wake up, and she's got a splitting headache.
Alright.
Mel, Nemo is able to see all of these events, so you're welcome to interject.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as she begins showing signs of rousing, a doctor-looking person comes into the room. He's wearing the right clothes, at least. Doesn't have a stethoscope around his neck, so can't be a real doctor, but he looks almost like one.
He couldn't play a doctor on TV.
That's correct.
Is he at least wearing glasses?
He is not. What kind of professional doctor would wear glasses? I mean, come on, you're a doctor. You know your eyes can be fixed. Especially with the range of cybernetics of it. Oh, this is the future. Um, he pulls out a data pad looking thing, medical scanner, and is reviewing that. Nemo has a little icon that is labeled medical scan available to him if he wants to open that up and view that data.
Absolutely.
Okay. It's all pretty much unintelligible to him, but he can see what the doctor is seeing. After a quick scan over, he flips it off, steps back, and kind of just waits for Colleen.
Wait, he was doing that while she was awake?
This was while, as soon as she started showing signs of becoming awake, so she hadn't actually woken up yet.
Okay.
But yes, he is standing there looking at her when she does wake up.
And once it is clear that she has woken up, Nemo will sub-vocalize to her. Wait, does she have any? They probably removed her communication devices.
He doesn't. Yeah, he didn't see any of her equipment or her backpack in the room.
Right.
And the only thing that they did not do is remove her clothes.
Right. So no point in trying that. In that case, he'll just observe.
Okay.
No, he just takes inventory of the room, trying to get in basically a bearings.
Okay. When she opens her eyes, it's bright and dark at the same time. She hears a soft voice trying not to be a voice that is trying not to be alarming, and trying to be somewhat comforting. Tell her to take it slow. You've put your implant at considerable and the connections to your brain in considerable stress. Everything your brain does is going to hurt for a little while.
Also? Ow.
Yes. Ow. I would offer you a cup of coffee, but caffeine or any kind of excitation is only going to make things worse.
So would caffeine withdrawal.
Fortunately, I have something for that.
Is it caffeine?
It's not caffeine.
In that case, no thank you.
Very well.
I can't help but notice this is not my house.
No, you passed out when an officer was trying to bring you to the house. I assume from the scans, from overstressing yourself and your new implant.
Well, as well as stressful to be suddenly accosted on the streets.
A representative of of Mercure Corps is present and is being provided with a full video feed, full video data of the incident. Don't think it will do any good to lie to me, young lady. You were not accosted.
I was going out. I suddenly was accosted and surrounded. What would you call that?
An invitation. There is somebody here who would like to speak with you.
Great.
I'll check back on you in 2 hours. There's a call button by your bed.
Right.
If you need anything, if the pain intensifies, please press that. I would not want you hurting yourself any further before Zoe can speak with you.
Alright. That works.
Thank you. And he leaves. There are no coffee making devices in the room.
That's okay. The headache is probably getting worse now.
Yeah, it's worsening and ebbing at the same time. It's a slow throb.
Well, Colleen is trying to think.
Yeah. I would ask if she does anything within those 2 hours, but I'm pretty sure she does, so it's pointless to ask. What is Colleen doing?
Actually, she's not doing much. She's thinking.
Okay.
And basically looking around the room to kind of get an idea of layout. Is there anything else apart from that button?
Okay.
Shelves, outlets, things like that. Doors, windows. Where are the cameras?
There is a door. Well, there are multiple doors. One leads into the bathroom. No windows. The cameras are not disguised. And she doesn't see any outlets.
Okay. What type of door is it? Does it have a handle or anything? Key card?
It does have a handle. It does not appear to have any means of locking or unlocking it from the inside.
Okay. Yeah, she's just observing and mapping things. Also thinking.
Okay.
But no, she's not taking any overt action that might clue anybody in.
Okay. Does Nemo do anything while she is looking around the room?
One moment, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that. I was eating, which Nemo certainly isn't doing.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yes, he will actually press the call button that he has.
Oh, he didn't actually have a call button, but he does have.
He will press the call button that he has by opening the door and asking the officer outside to fetch the responsible agent.
Yes, that is that is his call button. He says yes, sir, and taps his ear, brings him up on a comm line.
I've observed that Miss Mercure has regained consciousness and appears to be unharmed. I would like to speak to her at the earliest possible convenience.
I'll relay that to Agent Dolan.
Thank you.
Did I say Dolan or Bolin? It's Bolin. Agent Bolin. Sorry. Like Bolin. The man at the door communicates that, and within about 3 or 4 minutes, the door opens again. I assume Nemo goes back inside and watches.
Yep.
Okay. Door opens, and Agent Bolin comes in. The officer informed me that she is out. I see she is. Well, sitting there at least.
The doctor has conducted his initial medical checks, and I see no reason why I can't why I can't speak with Mr. McCure now.
I will check with Mr. LaRue.
Thank you.
And he leaves the room. Nemo is left once again to observe the monitor as Colleen sits there thinking, or stands there thinking, whatever she may be doing.
Sitting.
Okay. After about 15 minutes, unless Nemo interrupts before then.
He does not.
Okay. The officer at his door opens it and pokes his head inside. Says, Mr. de Blasio, Mr. LaRue would like to speak with you if you're willing to step away from the monitors for...
Very well, thank you. And you will follow.
He holds the door open and leads him out. He's actually leading him out of the work wing, back to...
He will also communicate to Dude. Colleen is now awake and appears to be, and at least appears to be physically unharmed. I'm going to speak with the mayor, governor of the town. What is he exactly?
Technically the Lord, but nobody really...
The local feudal lord. Hopefully that will be able to shed some light on the situation.
I mean, each of these cities on Lumiere are essentially their own nation, but they're all allied in peace, with the only war being commerce.
Right.
It may be a peace that is more or less enforced by the exchange of light. Nemo is led again through the opulent mansion to an indoor fountain pool garden. And he sees a little bit around middle-aged man, red-haired, freckled, firmly built, looks actually like an athletic father is the best way to describe him. He's wearing fairly casual clothes. He is more casually dressed than anyone in the room at this point. He looks over when Nemo comes into the... well, I call it a room, but it's practically a wide open space. And kind of ambles over as the officer that is guiding / leading Nemo stops and steps off to the side. Good morning. Kurt de Blasio, was it?
That is correct. Thank you for taking the time to see me, sir.
Yes. Cassian LaRue. Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Likewise. I was led to believe you wish to talk to me about about the arrest of Miss Audrey McCure.
No, I wish to speak with you about my daughter.
Your daughter, sir?
My daughter.
Nemo will sort of tilt his head in a way that indicates that his program that indicates confused programming.
The confused dog tilt.
She has it in her head that this Audrey Mercure, a relative newcomer to Lamiera and the House of LaRue, may be associated with the crew of the Raza. I'm sure Representative Mercure Corps has ample information about the Raza, so I needn't go into any detail about that.
The suspected pirate terrorist ship, yes.
Suspected. The terrorist, yes.
I believe, sir, that technically they have not been technically they have not been convicted of any crime, of any act of terror committed with the Raza, which makes them technically suspects.
You don't need to be coy with me.
I'm
Lamiera,
merely,
House
I'm merely
LaRue,
following my programming, sir.
of course. Fine, suspected terrorists. And my daughter would very much like to speak with young Miss Mercure as soon as she is mentally fit to do so.
If I may ask, on what grounds do your daughter believe this to be the case?
A galactic mandate was recently here and demanding assistance with searching for the very same, the Raza. Believing them to be hidden within the halo of light. Connect that to the recent rental of an estate in House of LaRue. Unknown
Sure.
people, sudden appearance of an Audrey Mercure, a unknown relative of the actual Mercure family, whose identity we've yet to even confirm, except that she matches genetic scans.
But surely the amount of previously unknown visitors you receive in your city on a daily basis is so large as to easily cover the likeness of this being a random unconnected event. People arrive all the time and rent houses all the time without being necessarily associated with pirate ships in the vicinity of the system.
Yes.
So what in particular leads your daughter to conclude that Miss McCure is affiliated with these pirates?
He takes in a deep breath, sighs. It is a long shot, I admit.
By that I infer that you have no direct evidence connecting Miss McCure to the Raza.
Mr. de Blasio, I also have no direct evidence that Miss Mercure is a Miss Mercure.
If she was not, do you believe I would be standing here?
Would you confirm with your superior that Audrey Mercure exists as a family member of Mercure.
I already did before arriving, before contacting the authorities, sir.
Please, humor me.
If you wish, I will make the necessary calls immediately.
Yes, I do.
Would
Thank
you like Would you like to listen in?
I would.
Okay. And Nemo will first sub-vocalize to Dude. Call incoming to my superiors at Mercure Corp. Let them know that we have determined, without a shadow of a doubt, that Alter Mercure is indeed a member in good standing of the family. And then he will call.
I'm assuming Dude's communicator rings.
I hope it does.
It does.
Yeah. Trying to remember what we.
I don't think we agreed on a name.
No, but what department we said the contact number was for? I think it was the
Just the legal
legal
department.
department.
Yes.
Sort of Android administration.
Yes.
Thank you for calling the Mercure Corps Legal Administration Division. How can I help you?
Good morning, sir. I apologize for calling at this early hour. This is De Blasio? Blasio? With the Mercure case, with the Alter Mercure case. I'm here with I'm sorry, what's his name again? Lord
Cassian LaRue.
Lord Cassian. I'm here with Lord Cassian LaRue who's on this channel as well. He would like confirmation that the Alter Mercure that local authorities picked up this morning is in fact an affiliate and blood relative of the family.
Well, that certainly seems to be perfectly legit. I'm sorry. Hang on. Well, that certainly sounds perfectly reasonable. I can understand why he might be wanting to confirm such a thing. Our records have been a little spotty on something like that, and I understand that his hesitations, considering that it has not been made public, some of the reasons that no one has that she is not a commonly known member of the family. Are you there, Mr. LaRue?
Yes, I'm on the line.
Excellent. Well, as I understand, you have certainly justifiable reservations. Your records almost certainly did not show that our Miss Mercure was an active member of the family. The best that I can tell you is that there are legal family reasons for that particular state of affairs. I'm assuming you can understand that I cannot make you privy to the inner dealings of our particular family any more than you would make us aware of yours.
Mr. What was it?
Mr. Trent. Thank you. Sorry, sir.
Mr. Trent. I only ask that you allow my daughter to speak with young Miss Mercure before anyone else and before taking her away.
I am assuming that your doctor's credentials are on public record as being fully qualified, both to talk to someone who may be in a delicate psychological state, as well as being fully aware of any possible medical complications?
I keep only the best at the house.
I assumed so. I was not making any implications. I simply wanted to confirm. You can understand, sir.
If I may, sir, if you have your legally binding guarantee that Miss Mercury will not be further detained after said conversation, then we would certainly be willing to let that occur.
Our agent certainly speaks for us in this case. He is fully aware of all the legal necessities of the situation. So,
With some conditions.
These conditions being?
we are listening, sir.
Should my doctors think or even suspect that there's any chance continued contact with Ms. Mercure of any nature will bring my daughter's memories back, I will keep her indefinitely.
Now, sir, I hope you can understand how
That is my final
family-
position.
I understand that, sir. Now, you can understand that we may have some reservations about something like that. Would you allow your daughter to be held by another family under a non-specific terms of time?
My
We would
daughter had her memories wiped by some shit terrorists.
You have my sympathies, sir. I absolutely
I will explore
understand.
every avenue of returning her memories to her. Everything
lord-
she asks, she will get until she can remember her childhood. And
My lord,
me.
if I may, we would be more if it was deemed likely that increased interaction with Miss Mercure would help your daughter's prognosis, then we would be more than willing to arrange for weekly or even daily sessions with Miss Mercure at a more convenient location than here. It's simply a matter of, I'm sure Miss Mercure as well would be more than willing to cooperate with that.
Indeed, as our agent speaks for us.
Yeah. Takes a long, slow, deep breath, and Nemo could see he was becoming pissed as he continued on. He brings himself back to closer to calm. I appreciate Mercury's position on this for my daughter. I will not budge.
You have our word that we will not remove Miss Mercure
Your word
from...
is not good enough. She has been unknown, missing for over 15 years, 17 years. I don't trust that won't happen again.
There must be some mistake here, my lord. If the incident in question is 17 years in the past, then there is no chronological way that Alder Mercure could have involved in any meaningful way.
What I mean is, there are no records of Audrey Mercure for 17 years.
And as I said, sir, there are complicated legal reasons for that. But you have my assurances that we will do everything in our power to cooperate with you.
And we will make interactions with her. We will do everything we can to make interactions between her and your daughter available at any time.
He is shaking his
at
head.
any time you might require, to any extent you may require.
I hope you can
I
understand.
tried this the nice way. I think you should leave now.
Sir, I believe I am legally. Sir, I believe I not only have the right but also the duty to confer with my client if she is indeed being detained.
Fine. As a final gesture to Mercure Corp, I will allow it. If
And
you
will you allow
attempt
me?
to take her from the premises, I will sever all ties with Mercure Corp. You will not be welcome here, and I will do everything in my power to remove every ounce of cooperation with the exchange of light.
That is fully understood, sir. But I must also ask that I be allowed to monitor, without interfering, in your daughter's interaction with Autocure.
That I can agree to.
Thank you. And Nemo will terminate the call again. That could have gone better.
He takes another of those slow, deep breaths, and then Nemo can see that he is visibly restraining himself, controlling himself, walks out of the room. Well, walks out of the big room.
Right. Yes, Nemo will walk back to where he was monitoring and assume that he will be contacted when it's time to talk. When it's time for the interaction.
Okay. Well, how do you mean? Which interaction is he assuming that he'll be contacted for?
Well, either first, depending if he's allowed to talk to her before, meaning if her daughter wants to meet her, or if not, then afterwards, to observe the interaction between Kalina and daughter. Which, either or, whichever comes first. No one has told her where Kalina actually is yet. It's not like let's go and find her.
No, nobody has. Well, unfortunate for Nemo's assumption, he is not informed in advance.
Oh, he can still see it's happening since he.
Yes, he can.
And in that case, once he sees something's happening, he will absolutely contact the. Can be involved.
You broke up a little bit there. He'll contact what?
He'll contact the Agent Bogan so he can be involved as well.
Okay. Colleen. Doctor comes back in after a couple of hours. Unless she has done anything before then.
No.
Okay.
Well,
the headache
does
is.
the camera have a blind spot?
What's that? Oh, does the camera
Yeah.
have a blind spot?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's there. There's no camera that she can see in the bathroom.
Okay. Is there power outlet in the bathroom?
What is she looking for? Things that plug in or an outlet?
Yep. Outlets, lights, basically.
It's like the Rick and Morty episode. She just has to strip naked, then they won't. Then they can't watch her.
There are lights and there are powered items in the bathroom, but she doesn't see any outlets.
What powered items?
Blow dryer, light, toothbrush. I can't think of anything else that would be powered in the bathroom. I'm obviously a guy.
Okay, for the time being, she just catalogs those items.
Okay.
So that desperately tries to remember that show she watched recently.
Which one, MacGyver?
Yes, just needs to find some gum somehow.
And a toothpick.
And some duct tape.
Well, she has a toothbrush.
Oh, that's true. She can make a toothpick out of the toothbrush.
Some tinfoil.
Does she do anything with the items, or with any of
Not at
the
this
anything
point.
in the bathroom or in the room?
At this point, it's just seeing what she has. And she's basically holding pattern to figure out more. There's no point in doing something crazy if you don't know where you are or what's going on.
Okay. The doctor comes in. The headache has, as I said, has been subsiding as long as she's not trying to access the link. He looks over at her, says, "And how are you doing?"
About normal? I mean, I still don't know where I am or why I'm here.
Well, that will be explained to you, I believe, shortly. I'm going to run a quick scan. And he walks up, pulls out his medical scanner. Once again,
And it is just a medical scanner.
it appears to be. Once again, a UI interface, an interface item on the panel that Nemo could be watching shows up and would let him speak. He hasn't had a response yet from the officer at the door. The officer, of course, acknowledged his request and said that he would call Agent Bolin, but it's only been a minute at most, so Agent Bolin has not yet arrived.
Right.
So Nemo can be looking at the scan. It's once again it's gibberish.
Mm-hmm.
But the doctor looks it over, runs it over Colleen, and looks satisfied with the results. Looks over at Colleen. What were you trying to do when you accessed your implant?
Did you just call her Colleen?
No, I said he looks over at Colleen.
Oh, okay. I was just stressed.
We didn't know that you had such a recent operation.
See, what Colleen didn't realize was that she'd written her name in her underwear.
Or more creepy, what she doesn't realize is that Nemo wrote her name in her underwear. He kind of looks apologetic, says, "I would have asked them to be more reassuring, but doctors' recommendations, you can imagine, aren't always followed to the T anyways."
I'm sure that will all come up in the lawsuit.
I'm sure it will. Do you feel well enough to speak with someone very special?
That sounds stressfully surprising. Someone special?
Mm-hmm. Well, don't try and engage the link. I'm not sure either of us truly have a choice in whether you're ready or not.
I guess then I'll talk to someone that's special.
Wonderful. I will let Mr.
How
LaRue
special are
know.
we talking? Like special, like important, or special as in kinda dumb?
Very important.
Wait, did you say LaRue?
I did.
Yeah.
You will see perhaps more guards than you have ever seen in your life. More guns, unless you've been in the military and we didn't know about that.
Not
I'm
necessarily,
not
maybe possibly
even
more,
18.
more guns, but not necessarily bigger guns.
Correct. What was that, Nick?
She points out I'm not even 18. How young do you draft them into the freaking military here?
We know very little about you.
Yes, some secret assassin. Trained in all forms of combat, unarmed, armed, there's no gun I've never handled.
And while I
Sure.
appreciate your sarcasm, young Miss Mercure, I would strongly recommend restraining that kind of talk. I assure you it will not go over well.
What's she gonna do? Lock me in a small room somewhere I don't know where? Oh, wait.
Would you come with me, please?
Sure.
Yeah,
Get this candy.
what?
Do you have at least some candy? Can I have some candy?
No, against doctor's recommendation as well. If you're hungry, I could have a nutrient bar presented for you.
Strawberry flavor.
I think we have that.
Take the nutrient bar. Can I have something to drink with it, maybe?
How does water sound?
Fizzy water.
Simple carbonation shouldn't hurt anything. Yes, that's
Of
fine.
course it wouldn't. Well, make it 2 nutrient bars. Kinda hungry and I didn't get to eat. It's just about to have cake.
He leads her out of the room and well, she's in a very nice wing of wherever she's at. The hallway has well, nice looking paintings. They're completely nonsensical, so they must be expensive. And she can clearly see guards. There are 2 ahead of her, 2 behind her in the hallway, and she thinks there are more beyond that.
But are they armed with? Are they displaying anything?
Oh, what was the second question?
Are they displaying any weapons openly?
They are. They are actually holding them. They're not aiming them, but they're holding them at the ready. And they are conversion bows. No, I'm kidding. They're just laser rifles. And they all have a laser pistol that is holstered as well.
guards with frickin' laser beams.
Yes.
Not mounted on their heads, so it doesn't count.
The doctor holds out a hand, either to take her hand or just to motion her to follow him.
She just follows him.
Okay. And the guards ahead of you move along with you, stay a fair distance ahead. You're clearly being led through a very large mansion. And the decor actually starts to change as you proceed. Things get more girly. You pass through a couple of checkpoints, which Colleen passes as genetically Audrey Mercure, until you get to a fairly large, looks like a My Little Pony room. It's pink. It has horses and rainbows. A couple of doll houses and some couches and a central table.
Has anyone come to pick up Nemo yet?
No.
So hilariously enough, what you're saying is in this house they're treating him as nobody?
He is no man.
He is shown a couple more controls on the display that allow him to change camera.
Okay, so can you switch to where he currently is? Because I realize that he was not necessarily guaranteed to be there in person for the observation.
Yeah, he can have been following her all the way through the hallway.
Okay, that works then. That's fine.
And he will discover if he tried to flip to any camera that she is not on, obviously access has been controlled. He's not able to.
Right. That is fine. You'll observe from there then.
Okay. After Colleen is brought into this room and given an opportunity to settle herself, she does see a couple more guards filter in, and they position themselves as to make essentially a wall with a single opening in the middle of them, as cliche as that is. Is Colleen doing anything? There are literally a dozen of them.
No. I mean, have they indicated anywhere for her to sit, or
No,
be
no,
anywhere?
no. There are a lot of places that she could sit, but nobody has told her to sit anywhere.
Has that ever stopped her?
Hmm.
As if that ever stopped her.
Well, no, they're not telling her where to sit. She can sit wherever she wants.
She would just find a comfy spot somewhere.
Okay. After
Wait
she
for the
is.
fizzy water and the food.
Oh yes. That is obtained along the way. I completely forgot about that. She gets 2 nutrient bars, strawberry flavored, and a glass of water. A plastic of water.
Well, she would definitely consume that bars and the water.
Okay. While she's nearing the end of her first bar, she sees a girl about her age with long strawberry blonde hair led into the room. She can visibly see that the guards tense up, as if their own lives are on the line here.
Yeah. Well, seeing how she researched a certain person, I would imagine she has seen pictures.
She absolutely has. This is Zoe LaRue.
Woohoo! Dear Colleen was wondering how she would ever get to talk to her.
The girl approaches kind of timidly. You know, she doesn't go past the wall of guards, but she does move towards the opening that they had created, and just kind of looks at Colleen, watches her as she's chewing the last bits of her nutrient bar.
Colleen waves the nutrient bars and like, hi.
Hi. Do you know who I am?
I mean, I've seen pictures.
She looks disappointed. That's all?
Well, I've read reports, but yeah. I mean, do you know me?
Nemo is also keeping due appraised of the situation as it goes on.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I think we were on a ship together.
I feel I would remember that.
I might not
I mean, not the
treated
ship
you
I
very
came
well.
here.
I'm sorry, what did Colleen say there, Nick?
She said I would have seen you on the ship I came here with.
Well, I don't remember.
That was just a couple of days ago. Freighter?
No, I mean, I don't remember before. I'm sorry if I was mean to you. Please, can you just... Do you remember me?
No. There might be more explanation needed. I mean, you say you know me. I've never seen you before. But if you don't remember, why do you think we were on a ship?
'Cause you're with the Raza. I was kidnapped by the Raza.
Wait, what?
I was kidnapped by the Raza.
So far, so good.
And you're on the Raza.
Okay. How did I get there?
She looks like she's on the verge of tears.
Maybe, can we maybe just sit down? I mean, you have your cards there and everything, and I have, what I have is this fruit bar.
Dad says it's not safe.
It is. What could I possibly do with a fruit bar? I mean, I can put the fruit bar down if it's scary. Slowly. Can even slide it over to the guards.
Yeah. Push it away. You see the guards tense up even more.
Put out the fruit bar like it is a loaded gun. Just like she's seen in the movies, kind of just slide it over to the guards.
Which is funny because it's the fruit bar they gave her. If it was dangerous, you'd think they'd.
She makes sure to unload it. Make sure to unload it first.
Does
Okay,
Colleen
half of
still
it.
have the cup in front of her?
She would have handed that to someone. That thing would have been drunk so fast.
Okay. She drank it that fast. She got a refill and then passed that cup off also.
Yep.
Okay. Zoe slips between the two guards that were creating space for her. They weren't intending to create enough space for her to walk past them. Yeah. They're wearing helmets, or you could see more, but Nemo can see this is not a comfortable situation for them.
Chances are those two are getting shot later because they were supposed to stop her.
um, well, one of them does actually put his arm out and leans down and says, "Your dad said you're not," and she just looks at him, says, "I'm going." You can hear his sigh. And Zoe, she doesn't sit too close to Colleen, but she is the space of about two bodies. You know, two of the spacer cushions that's supposed to designate where people sit on a couch. Two of those are between her and Colleen.
Oh no, how will we ever bridge that space? Well, Colleen would just look at her and go, well, if you could maybe start at the beginning, because it seems you said you lost your memory, but somehow you remember things?
I don't remember things. I just was.
Told things?
Yeah.
And how do you know any of that's true?
My dad wouldn't lie to me. Nobody here would dare lie to me.
Well, if they know all of that, then why do you have to ask me if I know you? Couldn't they just tell you yes, she knows
I want
you?
to remember. I was hoping you can help me.
Alright, I mean, how? Do you have an idea of what I'm supposed to do or help you?
I don't even know if you are. Do you know the Raza?
Who hasn't heard of the Raza? I mean,
And
wait, if you were in the Raza, are they lizards?
You're not part of the crew?
You're honestly trying to ask me if a girl your age is a member of terrorists who have killed hundreds, thousands of people and are... Oh, wait, are they lizards?
Yes, I know.
Oh, wait, you don't
I
remember.
know you're dangerous. That's why they're so uptight. And she rolls her eyes towards the very uptight guards.
Wait, how... Okay, how am I dangerous? Just out of curiosity, I mean...
She
I feel
looks
like
over
there's a
at
giant misunderstanding.
the one of the guards and says, "Fetch me a datapad." And he goes and fetches her a datapad. And while waiting, she is just looking at Colleen.
That's good, because Colleen's just looking at her.
A step back. Whoa.
No, it's not a staring contest, but I have a feeling they're both doing exactly the same thing.
And what's that?
Kind of just looking looking at each other, trying hard to remember and trying to figure shit out.
That is exactly what she's doing. Yeah.
That's exactly what Colleen is doing.
The guard that left comes back with a data pad fairly shortly. Zoe motions him to bring it over, and he secures his weapon, locks it, and then comes over. Hands her a data pad. She scooches closer to Colleen, making them even more uncomfortable. And accesses well, it looks like her own directory on whatever intranet is within this house. Pulls up that one picture of Colleen. It's fuzzy. It's an imperfect likeness, but it would be enough to that somebody could look at it and say, "Oh yeah, that is Colleen," if they decided that that's what they wanted to get out of the picture.
Sorry,
What's
Mike,
picture
I
all
forgot to
about?
ask.
Yes.
Does the girl look at all in any way familiar to Nemo? Does looking at her, seeing her, watching her talk, studying her, does that trigger any recollection or the ghost of a recollection of a recollection? Does it trigger any of his? I've run these subroutines before.
It does not.
Does not.
The closest to any of that he gets is the searches. I think he had searched up Zoe LaRue, right?
Yes.
Yeah. She looks like Zoe LaRue.
Right. Nothing that indicates that he has ever seen her before. He has seen or interacted with her before.
No.
Right. Okay, carry on.
And she is visibly comparing that picture to Colleen.
I mean, does the picture show anything like a location or?
One moment, please. No, it doesn't. It is labeled Starport, and you can see that it is a picture of Colleen getting on a ship that has the same kind of cargo loading ramp as the Raza. Knowing what that looks like, Colin can say that, yeah, that is almost certainly the Raza, unless there's another ship out there that has similar design aesthetics. I mean, cargo ramps
like
are pretty...
I say like a cargo ramp.
Well, yeah, cargo ramps are pretty much all over the place. Almost all ships have them. But the Raza has some design elements that make it more recognizable to people who know what they're looking for, like Colleen.
Does it have a timestamp or anything, or location mark?
It does not. It is, however, the same picture that is used for the crime report for Colleen.
Okay, so Colleen would have seen that picture before.
Yes, Colleen has seen this picture before. It's where she got the name Das.
Okay.
Which I should point out is an archaic term for an outdoor toilet in Danish.
It's also a computing term.
Well, I guess yes. So what's so special about the picture?
It's you, isn't it? Your hair is straighter, and I love the glowing.
if you ever get to choose,
Yeah.
they can do that. That's only a couple of months, but I'm kind of working on that.
Father said
Don't
we
know.
used to go every year.
I mean, it's nice, apart from the planet being on fire. But yeah, the glowing strands, you totally can do that. Alright,
Is it
so-
you? She looks back down at the picture.
Could be. I mean, if I'm the only like green hair, is there hair green on that thing?
Yes, it is green.
I mean, I'm not. Don't think I'm the only person in this sector that wears green hair, but could be me.
Will you stay with me and maybe my memories can come back?
I mean, I'm not specialist or anything. I mean, but you. I mean,
There's
you
a tear.
guards kind of dragged me here.
There's a
So that's
tear
kinda
going down of her
weird.
eye. I know we did, but yeah, she turns her face away.
I mean, we can make a plan. I mean, what's the idea here? Okay, you want your memory back. You obviously lost your memory. Do you know why?
She shakes her head.
Also, if you were taken by the Raza, how did you get back? Because I mean, I'm not trying to frighten you, but don't they normally just kill everybody and I don't know, go somewhere else to kill
Dad
everybody?
put a real big ransom out for me. Said some scavengers found me on the Raza, and they recognized me.
Okay, so just so I understand this. You got taken by the Raza.
She
Your
looks back over
father
at Colleen, and she is crying.
Look, I'm really trying to help. If you want your memory back, I fully understand that. Must be terrifying not knowing what happened. But if you need my help, and I'm willing to help here, I have to ask questions, kind of see where things fit. Does that make sense? It's like a big puzzle.
She nods.
You have some pieces, and we need to put those pieces into place. And if you've done puzzles, did you ever have that where a piece seemed to fit, but it turns out totally wrong place?
Yes, that's my entire brain right now.
See, I get that. I mean, your father can probably tell you I work with puzzles. I mean, that's why I took a job here. Well, data entry is not exactly puzzles, but you have to make things fit. It seemed fun at the time. So, I'm happy to help you puzzle. Can't claim I can. I mean, obviously I don't have your memories. I can't do that, but if you want to puzzle together for a while, sure.
She
But
nods.
I need to ask questions, and then we'll see where things fit, and maybe just by asking the right or even the wrong questions, something will come back to you.
Yes.
All right. Can we have some cake? Yes,
Cake?
here.
Yes.
Chocolate cake.
She looks over at the guard and says, "Go get us chocolate cake.
And some coffee?
And some coffee."
Oh, make it mocha. Have you ever had mocha? Coffee and
Get what she
chocolate
asks
combined?
for. She just looks at Colin.
Alright, well, they get that. Just so I understand you correctly. So, you were taken by the Raza. So far, so good or how terrifying. Then, at some point, some scavenger found you. on the Raza.
Yes, about I, I woke up about, I think Dad said almost a year after I was kidnapped.
That's an oddly long time.
I don't.
I mean, what were you doing for
She
like
she
a
pulls over
year?
her data pad. Says, here I went missing on August 15. Oh, a day after my birthday in 49. And Dad paid on May 5th, 50. He
And that was the first time he heard about this or from them?
heard about what? I don't understand.
The ransom demand. If he paid on May 50, was there a period in between where they were trying to contact him or were asking for things?
He didn't tell me.
Well, maybe that's something we can ask him, but so he paid that to the Raza or to those scavengers?
The scavenger crew.
Did
I
he ever
have
ask
their
them?
names.
Oh, awesome. Well, that helps. Did he ever ask them how they found the Raza? Because normally you would imagine if someone finds the Raza, they all get, well, murdered? And if they found the Raza, why didn't they bring the damn thing back?
She crinkles her eyebrows. Dad wouldn't murder him.
Oh, I'm not saying your dad. I'm just trying to figure out if obviously a third party found you and wasn't the people from the Raza. But wouldn't you expect that the people on the Raza object to you being taken or having suddenly scavengers find them? I mean, if you look them up, they kill everybody they come across.
Oh, they do.
So, doesn't that seem weird to you? I mean, if those guys were really good, let's say they got the Raza, they took care of the crew, why didn't they bring them back? I'm sure there's a reward for that as well.
I don't know. Maybe. Well,
Well,
they
I
couldn't
mean,
have taken down the Raza.
well,
She rolls her eyes. The Raza is legendary.
well, see, that's where something doesn't fit. Do you agree? I mean,
No.
either you were taken by the Raza and then suddenly someone got you from the Raza? That seems weird.
No. I was taken by the Raza.
Yeah. If we're not disagreeing, if that's kind of what happened, it's more like you were taken by the Raza, suddenly there's time missing, and then suddenly you got back somehow?
I was in a cryo. That explains the time. Or not cryostasis. What did I write? Cryo. There is no cryo. It's stasis.
Mhm.
Because cryo is bad.
Okay, so you got put into stasis. I mean, it's less about the year and more like if the Raza wanted like money, why didn't they just ask for it like a couple of days later?
Maybe
And
they
if they
couldn't
didn't,
come back. Maybe the
well,
scavengers bought me to get a higher price for my dad.
no, that's possible. I mean, did
Banks
anyone
do that all the
ask the
time.
scavengers about that?
House going into foreclosure. Bank buys it, sells it back. I'm a house.
Aren't we all?
She starts kind of crying again. She says, I'm just property. piece of money flinging around. And then she goes kind of full crying. They treated me like a paycheck. She's gonna be crying for a little while.
Well, and it goes, they're there. I'd reach out my hand in comfort, but the bloodstains would be hard to get out of the furniture, because your people would probably shoot me. I mean, I'd hug you. Can you tell you guys I'll just hug you and not they won't shoot me, and then I will let go at some point? If I think you need a hug and I don't need to be shot, can we do that?
One of the guards says, Miss Lou, I'll call your... And she whips her tear-stained eyes at him. Just, don't you call me that. I don't want him to see me like this. He, of course, freezes. He doesn't do what he said he was going to do. She doesn't reach out for Colleen or make any motion that Colleen can hug her, but she does make a visible effort to restrain herself.
Colleen just does a pantomime with the guards, kind of indicating I'm going to hug her and don't shoot me.
She gets no reaction from them.
That's good, because that means they're not shooting her. But she briefly hugs and kind of goes for a hug and kind of goes, yes, they're there. They look as harmless as possible. Not saying she also slightly turns so Zoe would get shot first, but... Hugs her gently and with empathy and no ulterior motive for like taking her hostage or anything like that.
So does Colleen hug her?
Yes.
Okay. Colleen is not shot. But if she was trying to help Zoe stop crying, she has done the opposite.
Nope.
Oh, the hug
Said
cry.
anything about helping her to stop crying. This has nothing to do with that.
Okay, good, because Zoe lets loose into Colleen's shoulder.
It's gonna stay in the rope, isn't it?
Probably not.
Well, genuinely hugs her and kind of tries to comfort her as one piece of property to another.
There we go,
Let's
Mike.
all be houses together.
You have the title of this episode, Hug Therapy.
Maybe Stockholm therapy.
Well, that's kind of how Colleen works. It's worked before, it will work again.
Alright.
But I should have, we'll figure that out. We can talk. Let's have some cake. Cake always helps.
She kind of tearfully nods and says it does. And feebly, it's trying to be a imperious command, but it comes out more feeble. Says, where's that cake? One of the guards says, 7 minutes, young Miss LaRue.
Unacceptable. Colleen whispers to her.
It's okay. It still takes her more than 7 minutes to compose herself, anyways.
Alright, once the gig's over, gonna try to coax her into that. Are they bringing it on plates or anything, or? And what type of silverware? Or is it classic? Is there a cake knife?
We're actually going to
The
pause.
cake comes pre-sliced.
Yeah, it does. We're gonna pause the Zoe and Colleen scene here just to check in with
Okay.
Dude and Nemo. Nemo, obviously, nobody has come for Nemo yet.
Right. Nemo is watching the interaction between watching Colleen on the video.
Okay. He can hear it also.
Yes, and listening. Yeah, I assumed he was listening in as well. Yes.
Yeah.
And have been updating Dude on what's going on, and this woman is the Zoe LaRue does not trigger any residual memory for me. Does she at all in any way seem familiar to you?
I mean, does she? Does anything trigger in Dude's head?
Let me look at something here real quick.
I'll be back in a minute.
Alright. What the heck? Okay. Oh, I could have just gone over here. Oops. Let me look at one more thing for Nemo here.
Not Dude.
No, Nemo, I want to make sure that the answer I gave you was right.
Okay.
Okay. Well, Matt, go ahead and roll a wisdom check, just straight wisdom.
All right.
Yeah, there's no way to actually click a button and do it. Sorry.
Yeah.
You can find a skill in which you've got 0 and use that.
Right. That was, yeah.
Or you can just literally do 2d6 plus whatever.
I'll just roll it as the notice that I've got +0 in.
Okay.
Wisdom, right?
Yes.
Plus set to that anyway. Double deuces.
Okay. So, in what Nemo is relaying, and actually I should have asked for this roll before, well, this question before. Mel, how much detail is Nemo relaying to Dude?
Pretty much play by play.
Okay, so that's what I figured. So, let's get a
Because I was going to say, I don't think there's any way for Nemo to have been relaying a video feed to me.
No. But if dude wants to see pictures, that's easy if he's willing to access his datapad and search.
I mean, once the name came up, he's got nothing else to do. He certainly
Sure.
would have just been like, who the heck is this?
Mel, go ahead and roll me a int perform.
Okie doke.
I'm back.
Actually, well, what you're rolling is how precisely. I guess perform would really not be well for this. How precisely and helpfully Nemo is portraying certain parts of the information. Obviously,
How about int lead?
int lead would work just fine for me.
Okay.
And yes, he can use whatever chameleon skills
Yes.
apply to that.
And then he'll use social chameleon.
Okay. Obviously, it's not particularly helpful describing how the guard turns, but describing certain aspects of Zoe's behavior as the subject. The more
So he'll tap into Cap's mannerisms and speaking patterns for relaying information.
Well, okay.
Int lead, right?
Int lead.
Plus that. Oh, there you go.
Okay. Matt, dude, it seems familiar.
Actually, that should be one higher. It replaces it instead of adding to it, so it should be 8.
Okay. It seems familiar having a young girl on the Raza, but he also had Colleen.
Well, yeah.
And his role was to see how well he can differentiate any of these sensations of familiarity as being okay. There was this and this, or it was just all kind of a pate. Don't know if I'm using that word right, but it sounded fun.
Not sure what duck liver has to do with this, but
Well, nobody wants duck liver. That's why. It's all just kind of abstract paint on a canvas. There's no distinction, and it's entirely possible that Nemo bringing this to dude and talking about it is creating the memories of familiarity. Because he already had some memories of familiarity from Colleen.
I mean, he's not going to express anything like that. He's just going to sit and kind of brood about. The problem with deja vu when you have amnesia is you don't know if it's deja vu.
Uh-huh.
Because most points in your life you go, deja vu. Oh, weird. These people should be like, wait, shit. Is that real?
Was that deja vu or is it a memory?
Mm-hmm.
Well, some reason eyewitnesses to accidents are so incredibly unreliable.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. We'll go back to Colleen and Zoe. The cake arrives. It is pre-sliced. You're not given any silverware or implements. And it is placed on
Napkins.
a yeah, but it is basically placed on a large well, not large, but a cloth. That they wouldn't even bring a cardboard plate in. There are other things in this room that are more dangerous than a cake or a cardboard plate.
Oh, wait till I see what I do with that cake. She awkwardly eats a slice of cake while hugging. Well, since you said Zoe's the crying Zoe.
No, by the time the cake arrives, she has detached herself from Colleen. And stopped crying.
Let's have the cake. Is the mocha at least hot, or did the drugs are too dangerous too? There was potentially scalding liquid in the room.
It is warm.
Well, they do like living dangerously. Yeah, Colleen.
Just not hot, warm. Is it lukewarm?
It's over lukewarm.
How about Richard warm?
Nope. But if you would try to convince Zoe to have some cake with some mocha in that case.
Yeah, she just looks around. Says, "Where is the fork?" One of the guards said,
I don't think they want me to have a deadly implement.
"Oh." She looks back over at Colleen and says, "Oh." She scoots back a little bit.
No, they're idiots. Don't think you can... What am I gonna do with a fucking fork? I mean, I also think the reason we have cloth napkins is because otherwise I might give you a nasty paper cut.
Father's been very protective of me.
Well, that's kinda nice. You said you had the names of those scavengers?
Oh, yes.
I mean, do you have any reports? They must have said something, or just thanks, here she is, bye?
She goes through some of the other files on her datapad and gives Colleen the names of the scavenger crew. Looks up after each one, hoping to see some glimmer of recognition. There are not names that Colleen recognizes.
Well, what are the names?
They are names that did not get specified out.
Steve, and Steve.
It's pronounced Stevie on his planet.
It's Steph, Stevie, and Stuv.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
Oh wait, hang on.
Or it could be Mike, Michael, and Michelle.
What about Michel?
Yeah, could have a Michael in there as well.
No, I'm not gonna look for it. Colleen has the names.
Thing 1, Thing 2, and Thing 3.
I did write them down, but that was when I was working in Contra Costa and actually writing things. I've had very little time to transcribe stuff that I've written in between watching shows and playing games.
Well, at least now you know where you went wrong. Colleen would ask her if it's known what ship they were on.
That one I do have. And it is the Star Base.
They called their ship Starbase.
It amuses her as well. They called their ship Starbase.
Pretentious.
If they ever get a Starbase, what are they gonna call it? Starship?
She does not know.
Star Home.
Colleen would say. Alright, so they sold you back or brought you back. So far so good, and I mean, what is the first thing you remember? I mean, if you were in stasis, did you wake up at some point? Did they wake you up?
Yeah,
What's the first thing?
Doctor. Well, I have a stasis pod here. She shows calling a picture of the stasis pod. It looks the exact same as are in the Raza. And is labeled 0x291.
Now, here's the question. I know one of our stasis pods was kind of destroyed. But was the one actually missing, like completely removed?
Oh, did I get that wrong? Hang on.
Because my thing was that written down that
Yeah.
basically it was broken open.
Yeah, that is what I told you guys way back at the beginning. Yep, one of the chambers was tampered with and its contents removed.
Mm-hmm. 8 stasis pods, 1 broken. That's what I have.
Yeah, okay. She does not have that number then, or that serial number. No, she still does. She says that she was kept. I have to ad lib just a little bit because of oops. She says that she was still suffering from stasis sleep when she was brought back. Stasis sleep is not a thing. Especially not a multiple day thing. There's stasis being groggy from being woken up for, it could last a few hours.
Well, funny enough, Colleen knows exactly how long it takes.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say, who told you that? Because I can tell you it doesn't last that long.
It did for me.
Are you sure they didn't drug you or anything? Because, I mean, you can ask one of your doctors. But it shouldn't have lasted that long at all.
Excuse me, sneezing all of a sudden. Colleen said it shouldn't have lasted that long.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think here's another piece that's not quite fitting.
She looks doubtfully at Colleen. down at her datapad.
I mean, check with one of your doctors. I don't know, you have one. There's one that dealt with me, I guess.
She looks over at one of the guards. Well, the guards. Doesn't really matter which one she's looking at, and says, "Fetch me Dr. Tyndall." And he goes and fetches Dr. Tyndall.
And while he does that, she leans kind of in towards Zoe and says, "And here's how you can find out if someone is lying to you. If you have an outgoing line on that, look up medical data on stasis sickness.
It wasn't.
Just so you have a rough idea."
It wasn't stasis sickness. It was stasis sleep.
You know what I mean. Look it up. Just
Aren't-
see what he says. and
Aren't they
compare.
different though?
Well, look for stasis sleep. I mean, also look for stasis sickness, but I can tell you, it really only lasts a couple of hours.
She starts looking it up on her datapad right now.
Huh? That's the whole point.
And her face clouds up when she gets some search results on that. Scrolls through, clicks a few things, scrolls through. And the doctor is escorted in, the same one that checked on Colleen. Zoe immediately looks over him and says, "Why was I told I was in stasis sleep?"
Yeah. What's up, Doc?
Nick has been waiting for that opportunity.
Uh-huh.
Actually, no. That came to me just seconds ago when the doctor was being called.
He slows and says, "Ah, it was your father's idea, Zoe. He didn't want you to know that you had been drugged." And she kind of wraps her arms around herself. He sits down next to her, pulls his datapad out, and brings up some old, well, months old medical reports. He has to filter through and find them. Shows them to her, and she kind of looks, and there's a glimmer of recognition in her eye, but she's kind of reading from context. He shows it to Colleen, and it probably much the same. Colleen's heal skill is heal 1.
Yeah, which makes her actually better than most physicians. Heal 1 is an experienced professional in the skill, clearly better than most.
Yes. But despite that, she still just doesn't have a whole lot of experience with it. She has the skill. She's not going to immediately recognize everything. This is something she could figure it out because of her heal skill.
Well, that's what she would do.
And what she's being shown are, they're drugs to keep somebody from, making trouble. It is not the most elegant cocktail, and could actually have, depending on how long she was on them, had permanent lasting effects.
And this goes, depending how long they pumped that into you, that might have just fried pieces of your brain.
She is on the verge of tears again. Can it be
What?
fixed?
Well, I mean, did you have an expert, a brain expert, look at you? You know, their scans and things?
Dr. Tyndall
I
answers
mean, your
that and
father.
says, yes. There was no brain damage.
Alright, anything in the cortical regions of memory? Did that show anything? I mean, if you ran all the tests, I would assume by the best people on this planet?
Yes. There was no brain damage.
Yes, but was there any sign of activity or tampering?
And here my very, very basic knowledge of how the brain works is problematic, because if I knew nothing, I could just make something up.
You could just make something up, seeing how we're dealing with science that does things.
We are.
I mean, there's a specific cyber enhancement you can get for such a thing.
Oh, I'm not.
Well, not in real life.
Yeah, I'm not quite ready to put things in my body yet. Actually, I take that back. I am. I
No,
totally am.
I'm on about in Stars Without Numbers. There's literally things so you get another whole identity and forget everything you've ever.
He says that there was no sign of any damage or tampering or anything, any issues with the brain.
So we ask him if he has the reports on that, because if they ran the test, there must be results.
There certainly are. He pulls them up and he says that this is beyond his expertise to interpret, but assures both Zoe and Colleen that the tests were run by the best and most expensive neurosurgeons that could be flown in.
Alright, and in their opinion, what caused the memory loss?
They don't know.
So, they don't know. So they couldn't find any sign of damage, any sign of tampering? I mean, what are they thinking? That memory simply went poof? That's not quite how it works?
The leading theory simply suggests some pretext, some device or pretext procedure that we don't have the capability of understanding yet.
Ah. The old pretext did it.
Yes.
Alright. He turns to Zoe again. So did anyone have interviews with those scavengers? Any recordings? Anything we could watch?
One moment. I'm experiencing a sudden allergy to the heat. That's what it must be.
Welcome to my life.
He says that the transaction was, of course, recorded, but only Mr. LaRue has access to that.
Well, fair enough. Well, Zoe, what do you think?
I don't know.
I mean, do you think there's more to these things? I mean, you've seen what we've accomplished just so far. Is there anything new in there that you didn't know? Anything you didn't expect?
I didn't even look up stasis sleep.
Well, you didn't, but, well, you were told that's what happened to you, and, well, look how that turned out. So after you got rescued for whatever reason, you were drugged. Why would they drug you, I mean, would you be happy to go back home?
Yeah.
But then, there's the other weird thing. Why did you say you might have been mean to me?
Father tries to hide it from me, but I can tell from the servants and what people say in the city.
Ah, you saw the ding dong, the witch is dead.
Yeah. I thought people were just being mean. I didn't understand it was me. I still don't know
Well,
if that was me. I
well,
don't.
maybe not all you. I mean, just think of how you feel now. Is that you feel kind of like the house, like property. Kind of makes you angry, doesn't it? So maybe you felt that way before, and well, just needed an outlet. And the question is, if you get your memories back, what if you go all witch again?
I wouldn't.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Because, I mean, we don't know how that whole thing worked. Imagine if it just sets you back to the very time when you were taken.
I'll still have my memories.
Are you sure? Because if we're really dealing with something pre-tech, maybe you wouldn't?
If it can take memories, it can give them back.
Don't get me wrong, that's like saying if a gun can take a life, it can give it back.
But this is pre-tech.
That stuff's the worst. I mean, also awesome, but the worst.
I don't know. I want to try.
Well, fair enough. I mean, if you review everything, is anything else coming back? I mean, if I look like that girl, I mean, I don't remember that, but just imagine for a second, if I look like her, maybe that's all it takes. So can I just look at me? Ignore the stains of cake. It's so much easier with a fork.
It is easier with a fork.
Yeah, but the cake is delicious, so let's not.
And she looks at Cullen.
Let's see. Alright. Just kinda don't even need to focus on the particular blemishes. For some reason I seem to have passed out earlier. When I was kidnapped. But see, we have so much in common. I got kidnapped, you got kidnapped. We're both here.
Well, that was. I'm sorry, that was my fault.
It's alright,
I had to know.
as you can see. You could have just called me? Maybe a little call?
Well,
Hey, can you help me?
I told Agent Bolin to bring you here. I didn't know he was gonna detain you.
See, first rule, if you want something done right, do it yourself. Imagine how awesome it would have been if I got the call from you. Princess of March. Hmm?
You might have run.
Who would say no? What?
You might have
Who would?
run. You would have.
What? No. Why?
Because if you were on the Raza, why would you take a call from the leading house of Lamiera and willingly walk into their compound?
If I was from the Raza, why would I work a job in the city?
That you
Okay,
only
please.
started yesterday.
Yeah. And when did I get here?
Like 2 days before that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Raza.
Where are you getting Raza from this?
I still think you're from the Raza. But
Well, let's focus on your memory.
I won't ask Daddy to hold you.
Let's appreciate it. I mean, if you let me go, let's go with that. I'll help you as best as I can here. So
Okay.
let's go with this exercise. Just kind of focus on me. Just don't think of anything super specific. Just kind of my face. Does it look familiar? I mean, if you've heard of the Raza and you say maybe I am,
Yeah.
seen me.
It does.
Are there any feelings? Let's say, if I am one of your kidnappers, is there anger, sadness, anything? I mean, just
I'm better than you.
all right. I mean, let's see how that helps. But sure, let's go with that. I mean, you're richer than me. Let's go with that.
No, I feel that I don't even know what you do.
I'm awesome with computers.
Uh,
I'm also not bad as a doctor.
yeah, yeah,
I can fly spaceships.
and I'm better than you. That feels familiar.
Okay, okay. All right, think on that. What makes you better? Kinda, it must come from somewhere. Is it your breeding? Is it your skills? If you can maybe remember the things you're awesome at.
She shakes her head. Says, just I haven't really done much.
Have you tried just doing things and see if suddenly you notice something you're good at?
I'm still pretty good with computers.
All right, there you go. Good in what way?
Like I just know how they work.
All right. So you can just use them, but you don't remember any sort of training for that, correct?
No.
Well, since you have your data back, can you give me an example of what you can do? Just something. Anything. Something you're good at that you just found yourself doing. Don't think too hard about it. Just what comes natural.
She kind of shrugs one shoulder and pulls up her data pad. She pulls up a program. It takes him some time to load. And well, it's not doing anything groundbreaking. There is
Mike?
something.
Since Nemo can see this is happening,
Mm-hmm.
and that and the datapad is obviously within the range of his comm server, is there any way for Nemo to communicate with that datapad, send a message to that one?
Huh. You can try calling it.
He absolutely would, if it's possible. If he can call that, then he will right now.
Okay.
Technically, on past examples, it's like hacking into their communications network.
She appears to receive a call on her datapad, and she declines it.
Call again. And again. And again.
Colleen?
Take the call if
Colleen?
it's important to you.
She
Well,
rolls her
absolutely
eyes,
Keep calling. Every single time she
opens a speaker call. Says, "What do you want?"
This is. I'm calling on behalf of Mercure Corp. I need to speak with Ultra Mercure immediately, please.
How did you get this number? Or this comm code?
I'm the legal representative of Miss Ultra Mercure, and I need.
She's sitting right here. Say what you need
I know.
and be gone.
No, please, please hand the device to my client so that I may so that I may confer with her in privacy. Converse
No.
with her in privacy.
No. Besides, we're surrounded by guards here. They wouldn't allow it even if I wanted them to.
They would not allow you to hand over the datapad to Miss Mercure.
To have a private conversation? No.
That could be used as a deadly frisbee.
Oh yes, and she could kill me with it.
And fair enough. Then, please, Miss Lamieri.
Lamia, before you continue, Mel, hang on real quick. Well, Colleen and Nemo both see as Nemo is talking. She rolls her eyes again, terminates the program that she was bringing up, which would have been a spectacular demonstration of some like procedural something or other is what it looks like it was loading up, and begins tapping away at the comm, or in basically a shell kind of interface. Nemo, Mel, I'll let you decide whether Nemo recognizes this, but Colleen absolutely does. She is counter hacking ish and trying to trace where this call is coming from.
Can Colleen tell if this is a particular style, as in something like she noticed when she wrote the program for the stasis pods, that this might be traces of her own style, as in either this is where she got it from or something she might have taught someone?
It does not look like her style.
Okay.
Okay, so unpause and continue, Mel, as she's tapping away.
Well, Miss McCure, please please carefully heed my legal advice when I say that you should not continue this conversation until until we've until we've had a private conversation.
I don't have to listen to anyone.
Hey, he said, Miss McCure, you talked directly to Colleen.
Oh,
And
sorry,
and
I
he's
missed that. Sorry. Yeah, she didn't respond. She just keeps tapping.
And he's using his Nemo voice. And then he'll hang up. The call is coming from inside the building. Woo!
She looks mildly annoyed when the call terminates. I should have had him already. What a weird encryption.
Really?
Hmm.
May not offer to take a look. If you guys won't shoot me?
There. She scoots over. She keeps holding on to the datapad, but she presents it so that Colleen can look and access if she wants. She's just not letting go of it.
That's
and
fine.
She's still looking at the screen.
Yeah, Colleen is taking a look at that encryption.
But is she still looking at the screen?
She is, yeah.
Nemo's not aware of any particularly exotic or rare languages that Colleen speaks. Is he?
She.
I don't remember him ever asking.
No, I don't remember Colleen ever speaking speaking any other language.
But yeah, Colleen is taking a look at that encryption.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It would take Colleen some effort to hack through just based on what Zoe hacked through. Colleen can see a couple places where her code faltered and rejected her effort, wasting that time, or set her back. But she actually was pretty good at that. Very quick and not skilled, not learned, but skilled.
New plan. Nemo can send a text message to that datapad, right?
Yes, he's still limited to however things, applications display that information. So if she's got notifications turned off, then obviously that won't help.
Yes. Well, he'll still try. He'll send a message encrypted in or rather, just send a message arranged as a fairly basic substitution cipher, one that Colleen, with her puzzling obsession, should easily be able to crack.
Okay. You want to write it down?
Yeah, I'll just write it down.
Okay. And I do apologize for everyone else who has not had a spotlight this session.
I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good RP is always fun.
Yeah, it's fine.
How are you doing over there, Emma? We haven't heard you too much this session.
That's because my brain is...
Okay.
Yes, just like that sentence was cut off. Perfect example.
I got the gist of it.
I said my brain is...
Mush?
See?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, you cut out on the last word of it. That made it even more relatable.
And I had a snuggly kitty for a while, so it's fine.
It's like your brain is only going to 70% and then saying, okay, That's it.
Yeah.
Just like your messages.
Yeah.
But yes, if you too want Mike's personal attention, here's how. For step 1, get kidnapped.
Oh,
If you
yeah?
need help with getting kidnapped, I have some hints.
Yes, Colleen is an expert and can give you wonderful guidance on how to get kidnapped.
There we go.
That does come up on her as a message on her screen. It just displays briefly and then goes away. Not enough time for well, Colleen sees it, but can't stare at it. Oh, what now? And she brings it up. What is this? Is
Well, obviously, just looks like gibberish at first at first glance.
I think it just got corrupted. Probably one of the filters.
no, this is. If you, she starts deciphering it.
Ah, damn it.
Fine. It's a secret message telling me that your father will keep me here forever if I help you.
If you help me.
I'd like to help you, but you can see how this might be a little bit of a problem.
You have clever friends.
If it makes me feel any better, I'm smarter than most of them.
That's how I feel
Nice
most
work
of
with
the
the
time.
trace, though. That's how I feel all the time. It's exhausting, isn't it?
She kind of looks up the guards, looks around the room without just shifts her eyes around the room, and says out loud, "Can he hear me right now?" She says it loud enough for Nemo to hear,
Yes.
and then stares at the compad or the datapad.
Sees absolutely no reason to reply to that.
She looks over at Colleen and says, "Can he? He can obviously hear us right now. Make him answer me."
Okay. Can I have that Can I have that pad for a moment? I promise I will even scoot a little bit away from you.
No, I want to see.
You can see, I just need to tap.
She holds it for Colleen to tap.
Alright, Colleen cracks that fucking encryption. Or tries to.
Oh.
Basically run that trace.
She is able to, from basically create a quick hack that she thinks would crack that encryption. I mean, obviously it doesn't help now because that line is not open. She can't reverse it and make a call back.
No star 69.
Right.
I mean, if it called the pad should be able to call it, but... Yeah, the first thing to do is to crack that encryption.
Mm-hmm. That's clever.
Of course it is.
We
But
were competition.
You can use that magic spirit in the sky. Make a message appear on this compad for me.
She looks over at Colin and says, Do you think that's right? We were competition.
Maybe? I mean, can you fly spaceships?
I could learn.
Anybody can learn. That's how I know most of my stuff.
Yeah, me too. Oh. Roll 20 is telling me that my connection has been interrupted. Oh, and
There.
it's back.
There, Nemo sent a message.
Is it in cipher?
No.
She looks disappointed. Oh.
Hallelujah! Just Colin.
You should probably stick to the gibberish. And then she looks at Colleen and says, so your friend should tell me how I can help you.
Oh, we don't need him for that. It's very easy. You simply tell your dad, none of this worked, let's bring anything, wrong girl. And then let's make a cipher. The second I'm out of here, we can talk, and I'll keep helping you.
Okay.
Because I would like to help you, but I'd also like to be imprisoned for like ever.
And
Yes,
you know that if you don't, my father will never stop coming after you. Right?
Yeah. Well, you see my point here. I don't really like people after me, and
Sorry, I'm just trying to threaten you, I guess, to make sure that you keep helping. I'm not very good at it.
Yeah. When you make threats, don't involve your dad. That kind of cheapens the whole thing. But let me put this out there. I would like to help you. I might have ways of doing that. I think we've started on something here. But I know you love your dad, but obviously there are things he's not telling you. You've seen this today. Imagine what you could have done with the information that you had been drugged. So tell you what, we'll set up a cipher. You can reach me on this planet, and even if I have to leave, we'll keep sending mail. And then we go with the insinuation. If for whatever reason I stop helping you, terrible, terrible things will happen. You don't need to specify, because that way I can imagine what's really, really terrible for me. Because what you might come up with, maybe I don't care about that. For example, if you say you will be tortured, fine, one thing. You say there will no cake for you?
Chuckles a little bit and interrupts. Says, are you trying to teach me how to be a horrible person?
In all fairness, given what we know from your history, maybe that will make your memory come back?
Oh. Yeah, maybe.
No, I'm not trying to teach you. I'm trying to teach you how to be a medium person. Nobody's all good, nobody's all bad. There is like an acceptable level of medium. Like, how mean can you be given the situation? And then you do something nice every once in a while.
So sometimes nice people torture people?
Sure. I have no idea. Probably not. But as I said, torture was just an extreme example. You put me somewhere and you say, no cake for you, no coffee for you, and I will probably tell you everything I know.
I wish I had known that from the start.
Well, I am telling you everything I know. Why? Because you gave me coffee and cake.
Nemo sent a bunch of messages to a pad. I don't know if you...
Yeah, I saw. I did see the first one and then the new one.
Right. Okay, good. Yes.
She looks down and takes a little bit of time to decipher, and she nods. Okay.
But I think I can help you. And well, in return, you help us. I think your dad is trying to help, but I think he's going about it all wrong. Because nothing he's done so far has worked. So, we're the smart ones. Let's figure it out.
She nods.
And then, Colleen, mind if I tap on that for a second or two?
Sure.
And Colleen will just go and create a really awesome frickin' cipher.
Hmm.
Give it to her with the key. Use that instead.
Mm-hmm.
They call this encryption chocolate cake, because all it says is chocolate cake. And if you play the key.
That's perfect.
Cake rules the world. Happy Cake Day.
Alright, I'll tell Daddy to let you go. Please help me.
And, yeah, I mean, talk to him. Basically, ask him about some of those details, and just like you've seen today, verify your own facts and see what people say first. That way you can spot discrepancies. Ask him about those scavengers. Because I can't believe he or his people never talked to them and interviewed them. Hell, you suspected me, and look what it got me into.
Daddy's just... he's always protective.
And that's okay, but I don't think you're a little girl that needs all that protection. Well, obviously super smart. So, maybe you should have more information and see what comes up.
Well, if I got
Especially if you
kidnapped
tell him anything will help.
in the first place, maybe I did need the protection.
Maybe. But, I mean, look at this. I just got kidnapped. Being smart doesn't prevent you from being kidnapped for some reason.
Yeah, you did. She takes her data pad back. Well, she was holding on to it, but she sets it aside on the table and gives Colleen a hug.
I think I can have some of that cake to go, but she hugs it back.
You can have the whole cake.
No, some.
Yay, free cake.
New besties.
Can we just become best friends?
I'd like to point out being best friends with one of the potentially most powerful persons on the planet is not a bad thing.
Oh no. And free cake?
And I'm not saying that it was a bad thing. I just said new besties.
Hey, at least we're not at the stage with, hey, wanna fly in my spaceship? Never mind how it looks.
And as she's walking away, she betrays a little bit of insecurity because she looks over at Colleen again and impassioned asks, "Please help me." Even though Colleen has assured her and reassured her that they will help, and Nemo has as well.
Given the house, is she making eye contact?
She is.
Alright, in that case, and she's some distance away, this is as she walks off, correct?
She's backing away, yeah. She's backing
Okay.
towards the guard wall.
Darlene's telling her there's nothing I can do while she basically blink codes with her eyelids. I'll do what I can. Can I make it very obvious that she's basically Morse coding it?
She watches and takes her a second, but nods and drops her head and walks out. Colleen is left with cake and a dozen guards. with laser rifles.
Nemo
Well,
will
the only thing that's
contact.
getting murdered in that room is the cake. Wave.
Nemo will call for Agent Bogan again.
When he opens the door, Bolin is actually
Bolin,
outside.
right? Ah, Agent Bolin, just the person I was looking for. I have contacted Mercure Corps. They are dispatching. They're dispatching a covert vehicle to pick up Miss Mercure and return her to her home. I
Well,
believe the driver will arrive shortly.
And this all still has to be cleared through Mr. LaRue, of course.
Of course, I am certain that Mr. LaRue will agree to the very generous terms that we've already supplied him with.
I'm here to
Please.
inform you that. Wait, hang on. It says I came here to inform you that Miss Mercure will not be available to speak with you.
There must be some mistake. From my understanding, that Miss Mercure will be handed over to our custody shortly.
He looks past the door, sees the screen. That's not the instruction I received. Let me verify. And he steps away from the door.
Mm-hmm.
It actually takes a while. A little bit over 10 minutes. But then he receives a call, returning his call. Has a very short conversation, and then comes back to Nemo. I was misinformed. You will be meeting Ms. Mercure in the foyer.
Thank you. As I said, a vehicle has been dispatched to collect her, and myself. Please inform your guard and please inform your gate security to let it through, and I'll give him whatever the number of the vehicle dude is driving is.
I would feel more comfortable given the many unknowns delivering you to the gate. You and a young Miss Mercure.
At the gate of this compound.
Yes.
Ah, yes, that would also be acceptable.
Okay. He beckons Nemo to follow him, and as long as Nemo does, escorts him to
He does.
the foyer. All but four, back to Colleen, all but four of the guards leave after Zoe leaves. And Colleen is left with Cake for about 10 minutes. Yeah. Colleen can actually hear Zoe raise her voice just in the next room. Sounds like she's having an argument and throwing a temper tantrum. And only a couple minutes after that point, Cassian comes in, says, "Thank you for your cooperation, Miss Mercure, and I apologize for any inconvenience. You're
Next time, just knock on the door.
There was a misunderstanding. And
I was waiting for that. You'll hear from my attorney. I was waiting for the line.
Yeah, but he might say, I am the law.
And he looks at the guards. motions them to leave. And they mildly hesitate, but do so. He moves over to Colleen and sits down on the couch, a good, one cushion away from her. You've certainly made a mess of that cake. I'm sure you understand my precautions. And
Sure.
if you are from the Raza, you don't have to answer this. If you are from the Raza, and if you are involved with the crew of the Raza at all, please send my gratitude. He
Was
gets
this in
up.
the foyer as well, or was that this?
Oh no, this is still in the room where Colleen spoke with Zoe.
Yeah, just making sure.
I am grateful for the return of a kind and loving daughter. And he gets up and walks out stiffly. As soon as he leaves, a guard comes in and says, beckons to Colleen, says, we'll take you to the gate. A car is waiting for you.
Alright. Just make sure my stuff is there too.
Would you like a box for that?
I'll leave it on the way.
Okay. Your belongings are already being delivered to Mr. de Blasio.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks, guys. Sorry for all the mess.
Oh, the staff will clean that up. He's motioning towards the cake mess. And Nemo is delivered Colleen's belongings.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple minutes after that, Colleen makes her way down a long hallway to the foyer. Nemo can see her. Colleen arrives in the foyer with Nemo.
Miss McCure, so good to see you. Please come with me and we'll escort you home.
Sure.
Okay.
And then the agent can escort us to the gate where Dude's car is hopefully waiting.
Yep. The gate is pretty far away, so you are basically given a ride on a hover golf cart.
Dude has, in the interim, moved from his parking space and driven to the gate. Is there one of those little slightly indented portions of the road next to the gate where somebody can park without blocking the gate but not being let in?
No, there is a circle before the gate, though.
Okay. He will find a space there.
And the road is wide enough that somebody would still be able to get by without going on the grass.
Excellent.
Nemo and Colleen are driven to the gate. The gate's opened, and there's Dude.
Excellent. Our ride is here. Thank you for your cooperation and for your and be assured that the Mercure Corps will express its gratitude to Lord Lamieri in keeping this matter from being needlessly
From being what needlessly?
complicated needlessly.
Agent Dolan escorts you the whole way. It says, I am sure Mr. LaRue will appreciate that.
Thank you. And then we get into the car and drive away.
You don't want to stick around?
No. Get us
Okay.
out of here right now.
The road is hit.
We're going back to the safe house immediately, and we are not returning to this. We are not returning to this city ever.
Yes, we are. In fact,
No, we're not.
yes, we are. Get me to this. She actually gives him an address. Get me there.
No. Under no circumstances. I promised the captain I would try to keep you safe. We've already been arrested and detained once. That will not happen again.
Yes, and you don't have the full information either. So get me there, or I swear to you, I will find my own way.
We will go.
This
We will
is
go to the
too
safe house. We
important.
will lay low until the captain on it. Unless the captain says otherwise.
Yeah, no.
Dude would
happening.
interject. Nemo. I mean, unless we plan on handcuffing her to ourselves and then having to stay awake the entire time to prevent her from picking them while we fall asleep. The best I think we can manage right now is to stay in lockstep with her. Does the address look familiar to dude?
It's the tech market.
It's an address in House LaRue.
That's absurd. Every moment we stay here, we increase the risk of being detained by mandate forces.
The mandate doesn't run the city, and we can lay low after. This is just too important.
Kid, can you promise that you're gonna make it quick?
As quick as I can. I have to talk to the guy.
You're not gonna pull one of these I gotta talk to him alone kind of things?
She can be there. I need to buy shit. That's why do you think I told you to meet me here? And bring the money.
You've been buying shit the entire time. How have you not gotten everything you needed in the trip?
Because he wasn't here yet.
Why do you think we told you to get out of here?
Why were you after me in the first place? This is just too important. I need that stuff.
Well, it still got you arrested, and we got a galactic mandate ship in orbit. You understand there are dangers.
Oh yeah, yes. And I'm telling you, it's worth it. I'm not doing this just because, hey, I really want that stuff. I mean, I really want that stuff, but there is a point to it, and it's worth it.
So, plus, every moment we stay here, we increase the risk we already shouldn't have taken in the first place.
Nemo, I will take responsibility with the captain for any kind of upset that she may take on this. If you can just keep an eye on things, I'll rely on you to make sure that we stay out of trouble as much as possible. Considering the fact that we still got to wait for the cap ship to get back, I personally don't feel there's more danger in one city or another. And considering
like the both of you, I can fly away the ship.
The danger is obviously much higher in the city where one of us have already been. None of us have been.
Yes, but we have made a bargain with the people running this city. So at the very least, I'm assuming for the next couple of hours we're all right. I can absolutely understand your concerns, man, but she's just gonna.
Also consider consider the possibility that someone is going to that at some point someone will contact House McCure regarding this, and then I believe the phrase is the jig is up.
Mm-hmm. Well, in that case, why don't we get this done as quick as possible, and then get back to our little safe house.
Also, how would the jig be up? I mean, granted, you don't work for them.
Presumably, House McCure will take a dim view at our impersonation at the fact that we impersonated House Mercure employees.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have done that.
You'd still be sitting there, kid.
I'm sorry, my auditory functions must be scrambled. I'm sure you said thank you for rescuing me.
No. I mean, it's appreciated, so thank you for that. But no.
Why are we doing this exactly?
That sounds more like a rhetorical question, my man. Kid, stay quiet. I will drive to that address. We will get this taken care of. And then we are getting the hell out of here.
That works, as long as we get the stuff.
As I said, Nemo, I will take full responsibility. And you can disavow all participation in this particular escapade. If we get arrested again, then you have my permission to smack me upside the head or break my neck, whatever you prefer.
Smacking you upside the head is likely to kill you.
All right then. If we're dumb enough to get caught again, I'll deserve it.
Nemo will start monitoring any traffic regarding. Switch back to Ultra Mercure again and Ross.
Okay.
Dude drives to the address he's given.
Okay. You're going to a certain Tyrus Tech.
No alliteration needed. Oh, come on. Not even Tyrus's Tremendix Tech?
Nope, just Tyrus Tech.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, let's see, where are you? You guys are at about 4:30 a.m. Well, the store is open. Oh, excuse me.
Hello.
It is a different clerk than she spoke with last time. And the clerk is helpfully asks, "What can I help you with?"
Well, I need a certain type of equipment. Was here a couple of days ago and was assured that the vendor would be here today. I don't know if your predecessor made any notes, but we were looking for quantum computing. Either the parts or the whole assembly.
Oh yeah, he did pass the message on to Mr. Quorum. I can see if he's in. He sometimes sneaks into the back of the shop.
Yeah, don't we all? But we much appreciate it.
Yeah. The clerk goes to the back, pokes his head through a door. Oh, you are here. Someone here about about quantum computing? An elderly voice. Yes. I'll be right out. Clerk comes back, smiles. He'll be right out.
Awesome. Be right here.
So he comes out, and what exactly is Colleen trying to buy?
Well, just like last time, I've summed it up with the type of stuff she would need to get those files decrypted.
Okay.
You can specify, is it quantum computer?
Well, I said that she would need basically quantum processing power for the level of decryption.
Mm-hmm.
she,
Trying to buy a system of that magnitude.
yeah, it's probably easiest and best to just abstract it, because with abstract it with simply the level of computing processing power you have on the ship would be able to potentially crack these within a few years if they don't have fail safes in them.
Other things to do.
You guys do have other things to do.
Yeah. The stuff on the ship has other things to do. He wants basically quantum server, quantum computer with dedicated runtime. In all fairness, she's not just looking for something to decrypt the files, but for something that also would help with what she's trying to establish between our little doomsday device and the nav computer.
Okay. All right.
Quantum processing server, so to speak.
Yeah, she wants some better equipment for doing no-y things.
Yep.
Or programming things. So I had kind of in my own headcanon, Ben can actually perhaps correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think the book has anything specific to. Oh, it does. It has quantum ECM. It has quantum kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, quantum ECM is to fry like nukes and shit, and to help with ships getting fucked in firefights.
Yeah. Yeah.
So ships have quantum shit on board already.
I mean,
it's just to protect the ship there.
Yeah. It's like the basis of the entire technology.
Yeah, I completely forgot about that. Well, to take that and call it more a more advanced equipment that she's essentially trying to specialized equipment.
Focused.
All of that other stuff is specialized in what it does. She's looking for something that's specialized for a couple of purposes here.
Yeah, well, mainly it's the same thing: computation and basically analysis of data.
Yeah. And he tells her that he, in anticipation, he brought a few separate components and parts, but that even depending on what she's trying to, does she tell him what she's trying to do?
Basically, she would describe it. She would abstract it as in large-scale data processing, including astronavigational data
and metaspace data. Okay. Okay. He tells her that he has the equipment that will do what she's trying to do, but that it is still limited in tech, in basically where we always seem to be limited in the CPU, the processing, and even at the quantum level there, and that he kind of hints that he knows about this type of pre-tech. Not that you guys have it, but about a type of pre-tech that was designed for data handling and computation. It says that he could sell her basically a kid's first quantum computer that will do what she wants to do. At the same level as anything else out there, or if she's a serious buyer and she already has this pre-tech that he's alluding to, he can get her. He has equipment that he can sell her that is that can manage that output.
Seeing how Corlina's taking a very thorough look at those chips she recovered.
Yes.
Would it work with that?
Yes.
Alright, yeah, in that case, well, since they're both talking tech, she would basically give him a summary of the tech that's available and say, would that work with what you have? Or rather, I know it will work, but does it fit the specifications for this?
I haven't seen one of those in 15 years. Yes. Yes, you will. I hope your computational demands are as high as you say they are, because it would be a shame otherwise.
I wouldn't ask if it wasn't important. I never joke about data.
$275,000.
Gulp.